All right, we have Nick Brana with Draft Bernie. We're live at the People's Summit. So Nick, can you tell me how the summit went, how the weekend went, and just what do you think of how Draft Bernie, their presence was here at the People's Summit?
We got here. We started off without a panel, we didn't even have a booth. You know, a lot of groups had booths. We didn't have one. We ended up with we kicked off the weekend with a huge little rally that we had in front of registration. 100 or more people there. It was an awesome kickoff. We had this huge banner with us, and all of our supporters gathered around. And then the weekend has just been amazing. So much support for the idea of an independent party. And I feel like people were actually very refreshed and happy to see a representation of an independent perspective here at the conference, because the Green Party, and Socialist Alternative, and they were kind of in the back, rooms, and so I think people were really relieved and happy to see that there was a major independent presence in terms of what we were doing, of forming a new party. And the reaction here has been amazing. Like, so much enthusiasm for it. Just last night, I think, was the most exciting part, when we all snuck into the speech with Bernie with a bunch of Draft Bernie placards, our red placards, sat all over the conference area, sat all over the hall where Bernie was going to speak. And then while Bernie was speaking, when people were cheering, we would also get up and cheer, Draft Bernie, start your own party, Bernie. And then the most exciting part was that at the end, afterwards, when Roseanne came back onto the stage, Jane came back onto the stage, Jane Sanders, to thank Bernie, to ask him some questions, Roseanne actually announced in front of all 4,200 Summit attendees, all those progressives and the tens of thousands watching on live streams across the country, that she supports Draft Bernie, the effort to get Bernie to start a new party. And that was absolutely huge. And the crowd erupted at that point when she said that. And she said something else. She said it twice. First she said, "I'm with you." And everybody blew up cheering, and it was amazing. Right after that, she said, "Nurses, are we with them?" Again, cheers, massive cheers to the crowd. And then she said something which I think was really prescient, and which I've seen her tweet before, and it's that great leaders aren't made, they're cornered. They don't come about on their own, they're cornered. And she turned to Bernie, pointed at him, and said that. And so it was fabulous.
So what do you intend to do with the momentum from the People's Summit, and can you talk a little bit about what's next for Draft Bernie?
Yeah. So what's coming next is that we are putting together a group of as many progressive organizations that support the idea of Bernie coming to the town hall and coming and having this discussion with us. The first step to getting him to join a new party, which he is thankfully becoming a lot more open-minded to. You'll notice in the speech, he dropped the lines about reforming the Democratic Party. He dropped the lines about bringing millions of people into the party. He didn't say that last night. So that was significant. That was usually a staple of his speech. And so what we're looking to do now is bring together as many different progressive groups, at every level, local, state, national, get them together under the idea of Bernie coming to the table and having a discussion with the progressive movement, an open strategic discussion about what it is that we should do at this point. What's our best option? And I think that's a major step, getting Bernie right there to sit with us so that we can present him, with these arguments that we've been making to all of you, so that we can present him the arguments that have been so convincing here, got us so many supporters here, and also so that he can hear from working people directly about how they don't have confidence in the two major parties anymore, in the two corporate parties, the establishment parties, and how they themselves, from their own personal stories, how each of them believes that we need a new party, and that Bernie is the one who can give us that new party. And so during the campaign, in all my experience working with Bernie, when Bernie manages to, when he hears from people, when he hears directly from working people about their own concerns, like when we traveled across the country, when he traveled to Native American country, and he got to hear those concerns directly, it became something that became very close to his heart. And so Bernie, something that I can tell you about Bernie that is very true about him is that he's moved when he sees people pressing him in one direction, and when he hears people, in their own words, working people, telling him about their concerns and their views. And so bringing him to that town hall will be very important, and putting together all those different groups in a coalition to ask him to come to the town hall. Groups that represent memberships of hundreds of thousands, even millions of people. That's what we're talking about. All of whom worked very hard on his campaign to make him president, and many of whom are working now again because they still believe in him, to make him, for him to lead a new party. And so that's one of the big things that we'll be doing right after this.
Well, thank you, Nick. Draft Bernie, I think, really brought, something to the People's Summit that, was really needed. So, and thank you everyone for checking us out.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thank you.